Hello, this is Harry. In this video, let's watch an American sci-fi film, Repo Men. In the future world, humans had mastered the technology of biomechanical organs. Patients no longer had to wait for any organ donations. They only needed to transplant biomechanical organs to have a normal life. For all civilians to access this technology, the federal corporation launched an installment loan business with an annual interest rate of 19.6%. Despite the high cost, people facing death generally signed contracts. If the client was overdue, professional staff would force repossess the organs. That was equivalent to a direct death sentence. So anyone who put on biomedical organs had to live in fear every day. Remy and Jake were the company's senior repo men. The two grew up in Nepal, serving as soldiers and working together. However, Remy's wife didn't want her husband to commit murder. Moreover, the repo work took too long and he had no time to take care of the family. But Remy loved this job. He promised his wife that he would be transferred to the sales department while continuing to the repo work with his partner. Until one day, when the colleague was having a party at Remy's house, Jake received a high-cost mission, and the target was at the door of Remy's house. So Jake secretly told Remy, ready to make a quick fight. Despite Jake's swift means, Remy's wife was aware of this scene. The wife was angry and she let her husband choose between family and work. After talking, she took her son and drove away. Remy knew that this time he couldn't do anything else but to talk to his boss about changing departments. On the way to the company, Jake suddenly detected that there were multiple overdue organ targets nearby. The two stopped immediately, took their equipment, and rushed in to solve 18 people. A total of 32 organs and 2 jammers were collected. When Remy was about to propose to change the department, Jake quickly interrupted and changed the subject. He didn't want to separate from his good partner Remy and tried to dissuade him. But Remy couldn't let his family aside, insisting on stopping doing this job. Jake had no way to stop him, so he reminded Remy at least to finish the last task. After that, Remy was ready to come to the perfect finale. The goal was to remove the artificial heart of a famous musician. This time Remy did not use violence as usual because he was a fan of this musician. The musician knew that his deadline was approaching when he saw the repo men, and he was very cooperative. The defibrillator suddenly failed during the operation and Remy was stunned on the spot. When Remy woke up, he was already in the hospital bed. His heart was badly damaged by the accident and he had to be replaced with a biomedical heart. The panicked Remy knew that the company was a bottomless pit that sucked human blood. Once the contract was signed, it was equivalent to the date of death. But without a heart, he had to die now. In desperation, Remy could only compromise to replace an artificial heart and took on a huge loan. Knowing Remy was still working as a repo, his wife blasted him out of the house. The homeless Remy took refuge in Jake's house. In order to repay the loan, he continued to work in his old job. But when he started, he felt soft. The same experience made him understand the plight of people who had overdue organs. As the days passed, when Remy's loan was about to expire, Jake knew about this, and hunted for overdue people everywhere and forced Remy to do his job. But Remy had always been unable to overcome the obstacle and refused to do the job. Jake yelled anxiously, "You've done this 1,000 times. We're always gonna be repo." He forced Remy to cheer up. Later, Jake left Remy and continued to arrest people. At this time, the overdue person gradually woke up from the coma. Remy didn't stop him from fleeing, but the man came back and knocked him out. Woke up again, Remy vaguely heard the familiar and evil singing. When he got closer, he realized that this drunk girl was the singer he often saw in bars. Later, Remy opened the room and put the girl on the bed to rest. He had a good impression of this beautiful girl. At the same time, he discovered that the girl had more than 10 overdue organs, only her heart was natural. And he was natural except for his heart. Remy moved his hidden heart and decided to retreat with the girl. When the girl woke up, she saw the repo, and Remy lost her combat effectiveness when she caught his legs. It was only later that Remy was as hopeless as her. Remy sneaked into the archives as a collector, attempted to destroy the girl and her data so that the company could not identify her. Unexpectedly, Jake suddenly appeared behind. Remy had to stop the action. But Jake didn't catch Remy and let him go. Remy knew that the company would never be merciful for old employees. So he took the girl to escape to an abandoned apartment overnight. The manager of the federal company was furious because the employees refused to take Remy's orders due to their old feelings for him. So he could only send new people to deal with this case. Remy heard the repo men's movement through the girl's biomedical ears. He set up a trap in advance to lure the repos to fall off the floor. Unexpectedly, the house was in disrepair and the ground suddenly broke. The girl who was watching accidentally fell and broke her artificial knee. Just as the repos were about to shoot the girl, Remy smashed his head with a typewriter. This time Remy couldn't wait to be killed anymore and intended to take the initiative. He drove to the company and snatched the staff's clothes into the interior. His punches knocked the manager to the ground, then he took out the sign that was unique to the repo men. He threatened the manager that he would kill all the repo men who came to the door unless the manager cleared his data in the database. But since Remy destroyed the organ barcode last time, the data could no longer be cleared. And every company's repo would be confirmed by the headquarters. In desperation, Remy took the jammer captured last time, prepared to take the girl to flee outside the federal company. Although they successfully avoided the airport security check, the security personnel found blood oozing from the girl's leg. After a fight, the two fled the airport hastily. After that, the girl found her acquaintance in the black market and wanted to get her knee cured first. Most of the organs here were taken from dead people, so they were cheaper. The girl changed her knee after the operation. When the two returned to their acquaintance's residence again, they found that he had already had his organs removed. The executor was Jake. Jake persuaded Remy to go back with him and continue to be who he was. But Remy said that since the accident, he was no longer a murderous repo man. At this time, Jake told the truth that he wanted to keep Remy, so he had made some errors on the defibrillator. Jake thought that as long as Remy took on the debt, he would not be transferred to the sales department with a meager income. Unexpectedly, Remy became so cowardly because of the accident. Remy became furious after hearing this and fought with Jake. But he was never an opponent of Jake, and he was quickly knocked to the ground by Jake. Remy's eyes blushed, and he took out the knife and stabbed Jake's leg quickly. Jake got angry and raised the heavy metal beside him and threw it on Remy's head. At this moment, the girl found the laser gun and shot it at Jake at the very moment. As the picture went dark, Remy, who was covered in blood, opened his eyes. Remy understood that no matter where they hid, they would not escape the repos. The only way out now was to force the headquarters to erase all the data. Then, the two kidnapped the manager and killed the headquarters guard, successfully sneaked into the headquarters as managers. Soon their whereabouts were spotted by other guards. Remy, who had experienced in battles, was not afraid and killed all the guards. Immediately afterward, they launched a fierce hand-to-hand battle with other guards. After a while, all the obstacles in front of the door were resolved. After entering the data center, Remy found that there were only scanners. If he wanted to delete the data, he could only scan the barcode on the organ for self-recovery. Remy thought that it was dead anyway. They simply endured the pain and cut open each other's bodies to scan their organs. Just when they were about to finish, Jake and the manager broke in. Jake was stunned, and asked Remy, "Is it really worth it?" Remy replied, "It's worth every job we ever did." The manager ordered Jake to stop them, but Jake was moved by his old friend's words. He killed the manager backhand and handed Remy an adrenaline to save the dying girl. Then Jake bombed the database and fled abroad with Remy and lived a happy life. While chatting, Remy turned around and Jake suddenly disappeared. The picture turned, Remy's head was plugged in the new brain network equipment of the company. It turned out that Jake's hook hit Remy, causing serious damage to his brain. So everything originally was Remy's fantasy dreamland, and the cost of Remy's biomedical heart and brain network was paid by Jake. Finally, Jake dealt with the girl. Remy continued to live happily in his dreams, unable to extricate himself. Well, this video ends here. Remember to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, see you next time.